Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into some major news that affects millions of South African pensioners: the confirmed increase of the SASSA Old Age Grant to over 3,500. This is a significant development that's going to impact countless families across the country, and I want to make sure you have all the essential information you need. Before we get into the details, if you're interested in staying updated on SASSA news and other important social grant information, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below letting me know if you or someone in your family receives the old age grant. Your experiences help other viewers understand these changes better. Let's start with the basics of this increase. The South African Social Security Agency, SASSA, has confirmed that the old age grant will now reach 3,500 per month, marking one of the most substantial increases in recent years. This represents approximately a 5% increase from the previous amount, which is particularly significant given the current economic climate and rising cost of living. To put this into perspective, let's look at how the grant has evolved over the past few years. In 2020, the basic old age grant was around R1,860, and by 2022, it had increased to about R1,985. Now, with this latest increase to 3,500, we are seeing a substantial jump that reflects the government's recognition of pensioners' growing financial needs. But who exactly qualifies for this grant? The primary requirements remain unchanged. You must be a South African citizen, permanent resident, or refugee, currently living in South Africa, 60 years or older, not receiving care in a state institution, not receiving another social grant, meeting the means test requirements. Speaking of the means test, let's break down the current income and asset thresholds. To qualify, single applicants must earn less than R86,280 per year, or 7,190 per month, and have assets worth less than R1,227,600. For married couples, the income threshold is R172,560 per year, or 14,380 per month, combined, with assets not exceeding R2,455,200. Now, let's talk about the application process. If you're applying for the first time, you'll need to visit your nearest SASSA office with your South African ID or valid passport, proof of residence, proof of income, such as bank statements, proof of assets, including property ownership, marriage certificate, if applicable. If you're a refugee, your valid refugee status permit. The application process typically takes about 30 minutes, but you should be prepared to spend a few hours at the office due to queues. SASSA officials will help you complete the necessary forms and capture your biometric information. They'll also conduct an interview to verify your circumstances. Let's look at how this grant increase translates into real-life impact. Based on research and feedback from current beneficiaries, here's typically how pensioners allocate their grant money. Approximately 40% goes to food and groceries, around $1,400. 20% for utilities and housing costs, about $700. 15% for healthcare and medication, roughly $525. 15% for transport, about $525. 10% for supporting grandchildren or other family members, approximately $350. Many pensioners are primary caregivers for their grandchildren, making this increase particularly important for multi-generational households. According to recent studies, about 60% of South African pensioners support at least one grandchild with their grant money. The impact of this increase becomes even more apparent when we consider inflation. With food inflation running at around 8–10% annually, the previous grant amounts were struggling to keep up with rising costs. Basic foodstuffs like maize meal, bread, and cooking oil have seen significant price increases over the past year, making this grant increase crucial for maintaining basic living standards. For perspective, let's look at some average costs pensioners face. A basic monthly food basket for one person, $1,200 or $1,500. Monthly medication costs, common chronic conditions, are $300 or $600. Basic utilities, electricity and water, are $500 or $800. Transport costs, local, are $400 or $600. Basic hygiene products, are $200 or $300. The new grant amount of $3,500 provides better coverage for these essential expenses, though many pensioners still need to carefully budget and often rely on additional support from family members or community organizations. It's worth noting that the application and payment processes have been modernized. SASSA now offers multiple payment options: direct bank deposits, post office collections, merchant stores, like supermarkets, cash pay points in certain areas. Most beneficiaries prefer direct bank deposits for safety and convenience. If you're currently receiving your grant through a different method and want to switch to bank deposits, you can visit your nearest SASSA office to make this change. For existing beneficiaries, the increase will be automatic. You don't need to apply again or submit any new documentation. However, it's important to complete the annual life verification process when required to ensure your payments continue uninterrupted. Let's address some common questions that often come up regarding the grant. Can you work while receiving the grant? Yes, but your income must stay below the means test threshold. Any additional income should be reported to SASSA to avoid future complications. What happens if you're hospitalized? The grant continues during temporary hospitalization, but long-term care in a state institution may affect your eligibility. Can you receive the grant while living abroad? No, you must be residing in South Africa to receive the grant. Temporary trips abroad are allowed, but extended stays may affect your payments. The grant increase also comes with enhanced fraud prevention measures. SASSA has implemented stricter verification processes and regular audits to ensure the money reaches legitimate beneficiaries. If you suspect any fraud or irregularities, you can report it through SASSA's toll-free hotline. Looking at the broader economic impact, the Old Age Grant plays a crucial role in poverty alleviation in South Africa. Research shows that households receiving the grant have better food security, improved access to healthcare, and better educational outcomes for children living with pensioners. Some practical tips for maximizing the grant money. Consider bulk buying non-perishable items when possible. Join community buying groups to share costs. Use pensioner discounts at stores and pharmacies. Keep track of expenses with a simple budget. Consider opening a separate account for savings if possible. For those struggling with the application process or needing assistance, several resources are available. SASSA's toll-free number, 800-600-111. Community advice officers. Local social workers. Senior citizens organizations. Future prospects for the grant look positive, with the government committed to regular reviews and adjustments based on economic conditions. However, it's important to remember that the grant is meant to provide basic support and should ideally be complemented by other financial planning where possible. Some beneficiaries have shared success stories of using their grant money effectively. Starting small vegetable gardens to supplement food supplies. Forming savings clubs with other pensioners. Using portions of the grant for income-generating activities. Contributing to grandchildren's education costs. As we wrap up this detailed overview of the SASSA Old Age Grant increase, remember that staying informed about your rights and benefits is crucial. The increase to 3,500 represents a significant step forward in supporting South Africa's elderly population, though challenges remain in ensuring it meets all basic needs. If you found this information helpful, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to stay updated on future SASSA-related news and updates. Share this video with anyone you know who might benefit from this information, whether they're current beneficiaries or future applicants. Have questions about the grant increase or want to share your experience? Drop them in the comments below. I respond to as many comments as possible, and your questions help other viewers too. Until next time, take care and stay informed.